you just had a past life experience
Yep.
where we were looking at patterns that might still be affecting you now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what came up bringing the most emotion?
Bringing the most emotion was this lifetime where I am this tall, muscular man that has a family, a wife and 3 kids, and this war scene kept coming up, so I was in battle, and I knew I was going to die, and I felt guilty that I was going to leave behind.
Yep, wife and 3 kids. Where's that coming up, the emotion, the guilt?
Where's the guilt coming up?
Body.
In my body. I feel it in my chest.
Even though I've got all this guilt trapped in my chest.
Even though I've got all this guilt trapped in my chest.
That my Akash is remembering.
That my Akash is remembering.
And it's still trapped in the cells of my body.
And it's still trapped in the cells of my body.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And thank my guides and higher self for showing me it.
And I thank my guides and higher self for showing me it.
So I can dissolve it and let it go.
So I can dissolve it and let it go.
All this guilt.
All this guilt.
It's trapped in my chest.
It's trapped in my chest.
I knew I was going to die.
I knew I was going to die.
I was going to leave behind my wife and 3 kids.
I was going to leave behind my wife and 3 kids.
All this guilt.
All this guilt.
I'm supposed to be protecting them.
I'm supposed to be protecting them.
I'm trying to protect them by fighting this war.
I'm trying to protect them by fighting this war.
But I've got all this guilt trapped in my chest.
But I've got all this guilt trapped in my chest.
I know I'm going to die.
I know I'm going to die.
I'm leaving them behind.
I'm leaving them behind.
This feeling that I'm leaving them behind.
This feeling that I'm leaving them behind.
I'm releasing it and letting it go.
I'm releasing it and letting it go.
From that lifetime when I was an Aboriginal.
From that lifetime when I was an Aboriginal or
a muscular tanned man.
Yeah.
That lifetime when I felt the guilt.
That lifetime when I felt the guilt.
That lifetime when I felt the guilt leaving my wife and 3 kids behind.
That lifetime when I felt the guilt of leaving my wife and 3 kids behind.
I couldn't protect them.
I couldn't protect them.
I've got this guilt in my chest.
I've got this guilt in my chest.
And I'm asking all the multidimensional layers of my Akash to release it now.
And I'm asking all
multidimensional layers of my Akash.
Of my Akash.
Every lifetime I experience this.
Every lifetime that I experience this.
All this overwhelm.
All this overwhelm.
All this fear.
All this fear.
All this guilt.
All this guilt.
All the times I couldn't protect my children, my family. There's more lifetimes than one. All those lifetimes.
All those lifetimes that I couldn't protect my kids.
Mm-hmm. And releasing it from my Akash.
Releasing it from my Akash.
Letting it all go.
Letting it all go.
From every lifetime.
From every lifetime.
Seeing the souls of my kids.
Seeing the souls of my kids.
The soul contract I had with them.
The soul contract I had with them.
Releasing the guilt.
Releasing the guilt.
As their souls.
As their souls.
Meet my soul.
Meet my soul.
As we connect with our higher selves.
As we connect with our higher selves.
And see the soul learning.
And see the soul learning.
The soul contracts that we had together.
The soul contracts that we had together.
The higher learning.
The higher learning.
That we had when we played those lifetimes.
The higher learning we had when we played those lifetimes.
Releasing the guilt.
Releasing the guilt.
Knowing I played my contract well.
Knowing I played my contract well.
For their learning.
For their learning.
For my learning.
For my learning.
And I release the guilt.
And I release the guilt.
From every cell of my body.
From every cell of my body. The word independence is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to learn independence.
The feeling of independence.
The feeling of independence.
Maybe that was their learning.
Maybe that was their learning. It just doesn't seem fair though. Because they were so small.
They were so small. It doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair.
And it's trapped in my chest.
And it's trapped in my chest.
They were so small.
They were so small.
It doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair.
My human body trying to understand it.
My human body trying to understand it.
Not understanding the soul level.
Not understanding the soul level.
The soul contracts.
The soul contracts.
Their contract to learn it even when they were small.
Their contract to learn it even when they were small.
So it would really impact them.
So it would really impact them.
Honouring their soul contract.
Honoring their soul contract.
That they would allow that to occur at such a small, young age.
That they would allow that to occur at such a young, small age.
For them to really get their learning.
For them to really get their learning.
Of independence.
Of independence.
Of finding out who they really are.
Of finding out who they really are.
Releasing my guilt.
Releasing my guilt.
And I honour their journey.
And I honour their journey.
Their independence.
Their independence.
Releasing all the guilt.
Releasing all the guilt.
All the feelings of it's not fair.
All the feelings of it's not fair.
The injustice.
The injustice. And there's this part of me that wants to know, well, how did they do? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Following their lifetime through.
Following their lifetime through.
Seeing them learning their independence.
Seeing them learning their independence.
Seeing their soul journey.
Seeing their soul journey.
Being fulfilled.
Being fulfilled.
As I watch down upon them.
As I watch down upon them.
Still connected.
Still connected.
Part of their soul group.
Part of their soul group.
Their windows of opportunity.
Their windows of opportunity.
They have free choice.
They have free choice.
I helped set up their learning.
I helped set up their learning.
They have their windows of opportunity.
They have their windows of opportunity.
And they have free choice.
And they have free choice.
I send them love.
And I send them lots of love.
Asking that they follow through with their learning.
Asking that they follow through with their learning.
Helping them to see who they really are.
Helping them to see who they really are.
Connecting with their guides.
Connecting with their guides.
Helping their guides to connect with them.
Helping their guides to connect with them.
Letting them know they're never alone.
Letting them know they're never alone.
Even when they learn independence.
Even when they're learning independence.
Connecting them with their guides.
Connecting them with their guides.
Letting them know they're never alone.
Letting them know they're never alone.
And I'm never really gone.
And I'm never really gone.
I never really died.
I never really died.
I never really left them.
I never really left them.
It was all part of the play.
It was all part of the play.
And they're learning well.
And they're learning well.
Just like I'm learning to let go of my guilt.
Just like I'm learning to let go of my guilt.
Injustice.
Did you say injustice?
Injustice.
Injustice.
Releasing the injustice.
Releasing the injustice.
They were really small.
They were really small.
But they were never on their own.
But they were never on their own.
I was more fully with them.
I was more fully with them.
When I went through my human death.
When I went through my human death.
Releasing my guilt.
Releasing my guilt.
Sending them love.
And sending them love.
Forgiving myself for feeling guilty.
Forgiving myself for feeling guilty.
Sending me love.
Sending me love.
Deep breath. How does that feel?
It feels more calm. Yeah.
So when you imagine being that man, that muscular, tanned man in that war,
Yeah.
and the moment of death, knowing that you're leaving them behind,
Yeah.
how does that feel?
It feels okay. I kind of see myself watching over them now.
Yes.
In the spirit form.
Yeah.
So I'm with them on their journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens is when family members pass over, their actual energy is still connected with you.
Yeah.
We're connected, so
Mm-hmm.
that helped.
Yes, it did.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was it was very interesting.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting to get all the emotion at all with this. Yeah, so
And
it's
there
really
was,
interesting.
I could tell there was more than one lifetime, but that was the lifetime that was representing all of those lifetimes.
Yeah.
But we instructed it to go to all of those lifetimes.
Right. Yeah, and now in my current life, right, I kind of feel like, you know, I want to equip children with, you know, tools to be able to effectively manage their emotions and, you know, help them because they don't have as much stuff.
Exactly.
And they're more receptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the past, you will have been doing that from a driven, I have to protect them. Whereas now it'll be in more of an enlightened way. Yeah. There won't be you're feeling guilty that you have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I never really kind of felt like that guilt feeling. Like I didn't feel like that was driving me in my work with children. It was more about, well, I guess it's more about protecting them and giving them tools to help protect themselves, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you might still be working in that same field, but without that drive that you need to have them protected.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, it's a hard area to work in when your kids are being abused.
Yeah.
But you might see more of the bigger picture, of the soul picture of it now, of them being on their journey, still providing them with the tools to help them to release the trauma, etc., but coming from a higher place.
Yeah.
Great.